Live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
A mother looking for answers from the San Antonio Independent School District after she says her son was given the wrong medication at his school. We'll tell you what the district is saying.
And let's look out there with live cam. Starting off humid, 73 degrees, although this will be a lot better than the temperatures we'll face later this afternoon.
And a good morning to you. It is Friday. It is May 5th. We kind of dodged a bullet with some rough weather last night, and it is very humid out there this morning.
Yes, it is. And I understand that Justin was talking about the story today, maybe the heat.
Could be. It's been a while since we've been talking about a heat index 95 or above, since really last summer, but here we are. It's going to be a hot, humid day. Will that lead to some thunderstorms? It's possible. We didn't see a lot last night. There were some storms that tracked south of San Antonio. And there was some big hail, large hail in Crystal City. We're going to show you pictures of that coming up. We got some in on KSAT Connect. Yes, the heat index could approach 100 today, so I got to let you know, if you're going to be out and about, be prepared for some pretty serious heat. And yes, one stray afternoon storm, a couple of stray afternoon storms possible a little bit later today. It's just the coverage won't be all that widespread. 74 right now. Dew point is at 71, so it is very sticky with calm winds. There could be a little bit of patchy fog this morning. And that risk for severe weather, well, it is there. As I said, it'll be isolated, but we can't rule out some stronger storms, especially across the hill country later this afternoon. Something we'll be watching, but it'll take until the late afternoon hours for anything to develop. So some patchy fog this morning, temperatures in the 70s. By noontime, we're already at 85. Skies should clear pretty quickly, and partly cloudy today with that high right around 91, which translates to a heat index somewhere around 98. We'll talk more about the risk for storms down the line, too, over the weekend, coming up in just a bit. Guys.
A San Antonio mom searching for answers from the San Antonio Independent School District after her 8-year-old son was given the wrong medication at school. Candace Smith's son is a second grader at Cameron Elementary. He's diagnosed with ADHD and a bipolar disorder. She said she got a call at the end of March from a school nurse saying her son had been given wrong medication. She then went to the school with the month of April's medications and claims her son's pill bottles from the months of February and March were nearly full. Smith believes her son was given the wrong meds for weeks and said she still hasn't received any communication from the district about what drug he may have taken.
We had this meeting and they could not tell me what they gave my son based off of the logs. They still have no idea to this day. My son could have been dead. He could have died because of this, in the hands of a registered nurse.
SAISD released a statement confirming there was one instance where a child received the wrong medication. The district also confirmed that a registered nurse and an assistant are no longer on campus.
A convicted murderer is back in jail after being released a year ago, but this time it's for something different. 50-year-old Jacob Valadez is facing an invasive visual recording charge. Now, according to police, Valadez left his phone in a friend's car, and when the friend picked it up, she says it had photos of videos of an underage girl changing. Now, police got a search warrant and confirmed that the victim did not know she was being recorded. Bexar County court records show that Valadez served a 30-year prison sentence for a murder back in 1992, and he was released last March. A 4-year-old murder case comes to an end as the woman charged, Mandy Lou Villegas, has been convicted of murder.
Erica Hernandez takes us inside the courtroom as Villegas learned how much time she will be spending in prison.
On February 11, 2019, 36-year-old Domingo Sanchez was found dead inside this home on El Dorado Street. He had been tied up and hit with a drill and also smothered with a pillow.
State text versus Mandy Villegas.
According to police, Villegas admitted to the murder, but her mental health has been an issue as the case moved through the court system.
We're asking the courts to take everything in consideration and assess a punishment that both meets the needs of justice for the alleged offense, but also takes into consideration just the mental health and the facts of Miss Villegas herself.
Villegas, since being arrested, according to online court records, had been found incompetent to stand trial in 2019 and was sent to a state hospital. When competency was restored, she was brought back to Bexar County. She has since gone through other psych evaluations that have found her competent to stand trial. But a trial was avoided, and Villegas instead pleaded no contest and taking a plea deal. 290th District Court Judge Jennifer Peña had the option of sentencing Villegas anywhere from 5 to 35 years in prison, the state wanting the max.
If you look at the stipulated evidence, mental health was not an issue at the time the crime was committed. I think with her statement to police, it was pretty clear that she knew what was going on.
With nothing to say to the judge after arguments were heard, Judge Benya handed down her sentence.
I am going to find you guilty. I'm going to assess 35 years in the Texas Department of Corrections.
Villegas will get credit for time served and is eligible for parole after serving half her sentence. Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
To Europe now, Serbian authorities reported they have arrested a man suspected of killing at least 8 people and injuring 13 others in a drive-by shooting. This is the country's second mass killing in the past 2 days. Police say the man shot people randomly in 3 villages in Serbia, then took off. A 13-year-old boy is accused of killing 8 of his classmates in a school guard on Wednesday. That boy has since been placed in a hospital for a mental health evaluation.
Phoenix police have made an arrest in connection with the murder of 29-year-old Lauren Hake. Hake's body was found along a desert area trail in northeast Phoenix on Saturday. Investigators say she was attacked from behind while hiking on Friday morning and died as a result of her injuries. Now, police shared surveillance video of a suspect. Right now, it's not clear if that is the same person who is in custody.
This morning, new convictions in connection with the January 6th Capitol breach. A jury found a former leader of the Proud Boys and 3 more members of that extremist group guilty of the charge of seditious conspiracy.
Federal prosecutors made the case that they plotted the U.S. Capitol attack to keep former President Trump in office, even after losing the 2020 election. Here's ABC's Justin Finch with more from Washington.
More than 2 years after the January 6th Capitol attack, the Department of Justice winning a rare seditious conspiracy conviction for members of the far-right group, the Proud Boys.
The Department of Justice very rarely charges seditious conspiracy. It's a political crime, and I call it treason's cousin. It's a crime against the state. The government is the victim.
Defense attorneys countering that former President Donald Trump is to blame, referring to his words that day.
We fight like hell, and if you don't fight like hell, you're not going to have a country anymore.
The DOJ's case, the Capitol attack plot, was an 11th hour attempt to keep Trump in power by preventing Congress from certifying Joe Biden as the 2020 presidential election winner. The government arguing Proud Boys members Ethan Nordine, Joseph Biggs, Zachary Real, and ex-leader Enrique Tarrio saw themselves as Donald Trump's army, thirsting for violence and organizing for action. DOJ lawyers say Tarrio coordinated the Capitol attack from his phone, texting Proud Boy members, "Don't expletive leave." The jury also acquitting Proud Boys member Dominic Pizzola of seditious conspiracy, but convicting him of several other felonies. The Justice Department already counting more than 600 criminal convictions tied to January 6th.
That the Justice Department will do everything in its power to defend the American people and American democracy.
Those Proud Boys convictions follow seditious conspiracy convictions for Oath Keepers founder Stuart Rhodes and 5 members of that extremist group. That charge carries a prison sentence of up to 20 years. Justin Finch, ABC News, Washington.
The state of Minnesota says a gas station in the town of Elgin leaked 10,000 gallons of gas over 41 days last year, and some of the gas reached the community's water system. Minnesota Pollution Control Agency is now suing the owner of that gas station, claiming workers kept hitting the reset button on the station's control panel whenever a leak warning went off, causing the system to malfunction. The lawsuit seeks more than $1 million in reimbursement for the cleanup that's been conducted so far. Right now, it is 4:38, 73 degrees.
A resolution for renters' rights has been passed. What this means for those renting properties in San Antonio and what the city is doing to spread awareness.
On my way into work this morning on Highway 281, I was surprised by the number of cars that were already out there. We see a few of those right now, 35 at Main, upper and lower levels, but the roads are dry this morning.
And taking a look outside with live cam this morning, starting calm but starting humid. Expecting temperatures to rise quite a bit today. We're going to check in with Justin for today's forecast as well as your weekend. We'll be right back. And welcome back. It's 4:42. San Antonio City Council members have passed a resolution supporting renters' rights. That resolution passed 10-0 yesterday with Councilman Clayton Perry abstaining. unofficially branded the Tenant Bill of Rights by activists. The resolution does not add any new protections. Instead, it highlights the rights renters already have under federal, state, and laws and consolidates them into one place.
This may seem to some as a redundant measure, but to folks who actually rent and have suffered at the hands of neglectful property owners, it's an official declaration of support for them by their city leaders.
The city also plans to promote educational materials through schools, municipal courts, libraries, and senior centers to help spread awareness. It also plans to host monthly Know Your Rights workshops for renters.
Right now we're at 443, 73 degrees.
Thousands of items recalled that may be in your child's toy boxes or rooms. Next, what items are on the list and how they could be toxic.
In this morning's GMA First Look, from Finding American Idols.
Can we talk for just a moment?
Yes. Should we go to therapy?
To Crowning a King. We're hearing from Katy Perry. And Lionel Richie.
I'm going to be at everything they can throw at me. It's going to be wonderful.
It's beautiful, and it'll be a real education coming from America.
Before their big performance Sunday for King Charles.
I plan on showing off.
Just grateful to be there and maybe represent USA.
And coming up at 7 a.m., Good Morning America is your coronation headquarters with Michael Strahan, Laura Spencer and Deborah Roberts all joining me live from London. With your GMA First Look, I'm James Longman, ABC News.
And now to a recall alert over children's toys. Thousands of products have made it onto the recall list that could be in your child's toy box or their bedroom.
12 on your side's Marilyn Moritz with what those items are and how some of them are potentially toxic.
LOL surprise dolls are super popular. These may be toxic. 6,600 trick-or-treat subscription boxes are recalled because the paint on the metal doll contains excessive lead, a danger to children. Culturefly is offering refunds. Different toy, same toxic trouble. Some 78,000 Lil Anglers children's fishing rods sold with kid casters are recalled. Again, too much lead. These were sold at Academy, Bass Pro Shop, Dick's, and other retailers. Thousands of children's necklaces are recalled because they contain excessive cadmium, also toxic if a child ingests it. The Great Pretenders necklaces have Easter bunnies or butterfly jewels. Kids tend to put necklaces in their mouths, so take these away. And bunk bed danger. Walker Edison Furniture is recalling 121,000 twin bunk beds after several reports of slats breaking. These were sold since 2010 at several online retailers.
Contact the manufacturer so you can fix this bunk bed. We have model numbers and more information about all of these recalled products on our website. Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Let's look out there with TransGuide. Loop 410 at Jackson Keller, pretty quiet for Friday morning. Also I-10 at Frio. Things are moving so far.
We all had the same question when we walked into work early this morning. Justin, did it storm last night?
It did not here in San Antonio, and it was always going to be sort of a conditional setup. We had to get the storms forming in the right place, and they didn't, and didn't really hold together. And these can be tricky forecasts, but some places did get some severe weather last night. We got some pictures in from Crystal City, and really, Crystal City was the hardest hit. Take a look at the size of this hailstone. You can kind of see the shape of it too. Those are the kind of hailstones that will do some damage.
And where's Crystal City in relation to us?
It's in Zavala County, so it's to the south and west.
Okay.
Carrizo Springs just to the north. And this was a place that also got some baseball-sized hail reported last night with some damage to car windshields. So, again, that was kind of the hardest hit area. That was right around 10 o'clock last night. But this stayed well south of San Antonio. And as we look at the observed rainfall, nothing here in town. But places like Quemado, almost 2 inches. Crystal City, now that's an estimate. We don't have any reports out of Crystal City, but somewhere around an inch of rain. And you see Carrizo Springs and Uvalde on the low end there. It was a narrow path. But this was an area that did need some rain. You look at the drought monitor, and they are in severe drought down there. So the rain was good. The hail, not so much. As we go outside for you right now, we've got cloudy and humid conditions. 74. Look at the dew point, 71. That's very much in the oppressive category. It's not a lot of fun to be outside even this morning. Calm winds, and there is some fog, namely around Seguin. That's about the only place right now that is reporting low visibility, down about 0.4 of a mile there. We'll keep tabs on it. There could be a little fog here and there, but we're not expecting a ton this morning. It'll be patchy. Here's the bigger story. This is the forecast temperature plus heat index. The yellow number is the heat index. That's your feels like number. And this is for 5 o'clock this afternoon. We're forecasting 91 in San Antonio. That feels like number 98. 92 at Port SA. It'll feel like 99. New Braunfels 91. It'll feel like 99. This is summer-like heat, and we got to be careful out there. So if you have plans to be outside, know that this heat index, this issue with the heat and humidity, sticks with us all the way into next week. So heat indices will be right there, mid to upper 90s. Weekend, Monday, Tuesday. We got to be careful because we aren't quite used to this yet. It is May. We haven't had a whole lot of months worth of this kind of heat. So just be aware. Here's the setup today. We've got that dry line setting up again out across parts of West Texas. Dry lines don't do a great job of generating storms, but they can help to spark off some isolated activity, and I think that's what we'll see today. This is around 4 o'clock. It's right there in the hill country along the dry line where we could see a little bit of storm activity. And where you see this darker pink, that's where the Storm Prediction Center thinks there's maybe a slightly elevated risk of severe weather. Bottom line, if we can get a storm to develop, there is a risk that it will become strong to severe. Hail would be the main threat, just based on the setup today. We'll put in a 20% chance, but notice this particular model doesn't want to generate a whole lot, maybe 1 or 2 stray storms here or there. And if they do pop up, we'll certainly let you know. This is the kind of pattern we're going to see all the way into next week. You want to talk about a status quo here. The forecast does not budge much. We're stuck in this pattern. Right around 90 each and every day. We mentioned the heat index is going to be high each and every day, and there is a chance for a stray storm each and every day.
But we do need the rain, I guess.
We do, but most of us are going to stay dry. This is one of those, you got to get really lucky to be underneath one of these storms to get any rain.
All right, we'll watch out for it. Thanks, Justin.
Yep. Right now, 452, 73 degrees.
Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is ready to pass Super Mario Brothers out of the top spot in the box office this weekend. Next, how much money in sales the Marvel movie is expected to bring in.
Lottery numbers this morning. Pick 3, 749, Fireball 6. Your daily 4 numbers, 0359, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 7, 8, 11, 24, 26. Your Texas 2 step, 14, 28, 32, 33. Bonus ball, 15.
It's been a nice run at the top of the box office, Super Mario Brothers, but the Guardians are coming for your spot. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 hits the box office this weekend, the Marvel film tracking to open in the $120 million range. Some think it'll go higher, as it was Fandango's most anticipated movie of the year in one of their polls. Marvel's owned by Disney, the parent company of ABC News. Also opening wide this weekend, the Priyanka Chopra Jonas romantic dramedy Love Again, inspired by the songs of Celine Dion. If you're hungering for something else, Season 2 of Padma Lakshmi's Taste the Nation is out today. She tells me the show takes a deep dive into how immigration has influenced America's palate and power.
We would not be a superpower if it wasn't for all of the generations of Americans who have come here and given us the best of their cultures and stayed and helped to build this country.
All 10 episodes of Season 2 of Taste the Nation are out today on Hulu. A posthumous star for a Star Wars star. Carrie Fisher got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame Thursday. Her co-stars Mark Hamill, R2-D2, C-3PO in attendance, along with her daughter Billie Lourd. The star comes about 6.5 years after Fisher's sudden death at the age of 60. And happy birthday, Adele. The music superstar is 35 today. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
456 on your Friday, 73 degrees.
Retired teachers could see an increase in pay in their state pensions, all thanks to 2 legislative bills. Still ahead, what one retired educator is saying about how this could help make ends meet.
Let's check on TransGuide one more time without Stephen in the studio, because he'll be here shortly. I-37 at Fair Avenue, very, very light traffic. Also on 410 at Perrin Vital. No problems that we can see right now. You're watching Good Morning San Antonio. We're just getting started.
Live from KSAT 12, Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
Now, this is a pretty typical spring morning. It's only 73 degrees out there, but the humidity is way high right now, and that's going to factor in later on today when the sun is up. We are talking about a heat index. Justin will tell you more about how it will feel by this afternoon. Good morning, everybody. We made it to Friday. Pat yourself on the back. It is May 5th.
Yes, we made it to Friday. Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a great week. But today, yes, supposed to be hot, and even this weekend.
Was that you patting yourself
Yes,
on the back?
yes.
Okay, I didn't know if you were adjusting your earpiece or if you were.
No.
You did the reach behind here, but I can only do this because, advanced age. Anyway, Justin, good morning.
My arthritic elbows hurt.
That's right.
Yeah, so it's air you can wear, right? We've got very thick humidity out there. We're going to see that all day long. That's going to be the big story, is the heat index this afternoon. But if you were watching last night, we did get some big storms off to the west. These moved south to San Antonio. So if you're waking up and asking, did we see any rain? The answer is no. It was down to the south and west. But Crystal City, that was the one place that really got hit hard last night. By some hail and then some pretty good rainfall, but it stayed again southwest of us. Right now, we're looking at 72 degrees. Dew point is at 70, mostly cloudy. Southeasterly winds at 6 miles per hour. And with dew points like that, yes, the heat index comes into play. So as we go into the noon hour, 85, skies will clear pretty quickly today. So we're going to see a lot of sun, and that pushes those temperatures up to 91 with heat index probably somewhere in the range of 95 to 98. By, say, 4 or 5 o'clock. Isolated storms are possible, but the chances are low, 20% for most of our area. If we do get a storm to pop up, the risk for severe weather is there, with hail being the main threat. So it'll be one of those things where you just want to keep an eye on the radar. Most of us are going to stay dry. How does the forecast shape up for the weekend? We look at that here in just a few minutes. And let's toss it over to Stephen now for a look at your early morning commute. Good morning, sir.
Well, things have been moving along just fine over here, Justin. I think a lot of people are just happy that it's Friday and we're getting the work week over with. But we got to get through the morning. So let's get a quick look around town, see what you can expect if you plan on heading out the door in the next few minutes. 35 at San Marcos, you can see north and southbound lanes, not a bad shot. A little fuzzy out there, but our friends at TransGuide spoke to them over the phone a little bit earlier. Didn't see anything that was too alarming. So that's some good news there. 37 at Jones Avenue, you're in the clear there. Just a few folks getting the morning started early with us. Our map is really going to reflect this for quite a while. We all know that we're going to see plenty of green out there with some of that active construction that's causing some road closures. It does also appear that we may have a crash that popped up inside Loop 410 close to the south side. We'll find out exactly how that's impacting the commute, but let's take a look at some of the travel times, because right now things don't seem to be too bad along I-10 eastbound. If you're on that journey from Bernie, 24 minutes at this hour. Should be about 27 minutes along 281 southbound traveling in from Bulverde. And right now, for our friends up in New Braunfels that are traveling along I-35 southbound, it should take you about 26 minutes to get in here into town. Back here on TransGuide 410, again, State Highway 151, things have just been quiet. Some of these TransGuide cameras are rotating pretty quickly, but it does look like we may have a stall there off of 90 at Military on the Axis Road. We'll find out how that's impacting the drive time, and I'll be back a little bit later with an update on road closures.
Thank you, Stephen. New this morning, San Antonio firefighters evacuated people at a La Quinta Inn after fire alarms went off there. So it happened around 10:30 last night on Helm Boulevard near Jones-Maltzberger Road. When firefighters got there, they encountered smoke on the 8th floor and discovered that one of the air handlers had a burned up belt that spread the smoke throughout the floor. Everyone managed to get out safely. There were no injuries reported.
A fast food restaurant that specializes in fish here in San Antonio is on the hook for several health code violations following their March health inspection.
Tim Gerber stopped by this week to see if the business made any corrections as he takes us behind the kitchen door.
Fred's Fish Fry, located in the 7700 block of Marbach Road, landed an 85 on their recent health inspection that included 5 repeat violations. Bleach was found stored next to ready-to-eat corn. There was no food manager and none of the employees could produce certifications. Employees were also not wearing hats and hairnets. The inspector also told them to hire pest control to get rid of gnats. And they needed to clean the dust off their air vents. I stopped in this week to see if they'd made corrections.
Can I talk to you about the recent health inspection you guys had? See if you made some corrections?
You have to call the owner, sir.
You have to call the owner?
This employee said she couldn't answer my questions, while inside we found a fly hanging out near the counter. They were also displaying this higher score from 2019. And it appeared they still needed to make repairs to their ceiling, which the inspector noted was caving in and held together by duct tape. They have until the end of June to make several repairs. Galleria Foods in the 700 block of San Jacinto got an 85. Food items were sitting at room temp when they should be kept below 41 degrees. The inspector watched a worker grab an uncooked burger patty, put it on the grill, and then continue to prepare other foods without hand washing. There was a can of Raid in the kitchen along with dead and live roaches. The business also needed a good cleaning. The inspector left them a long list of items to be corrected for a reinspection. Popo Pizzeria, located in the 8600 block of Highway 151, earned an 88. The hand sink was clogged with food, there were multiple gnats throughout the business, and the back door needed to be fixed to keep pests out. An employee was prepping food with jewelry on, and a bucket of sugar was found on the floor right next to a hand sink. A reinspection was ordered. For BKD, Tim Gerber, KSAT 12 News.
In morning headlines, 4 people were injured in a chemical plant explosion in Florida Thursday morning. Firefighters responded to the scene of the blast at a company in High Springs at 4 a.m. 3 of the injured employees were treated and released from the hospital, but a 4th was airlifted in critical condition. The Florida Department of Environmental Protection says there does not appear to be any risk to public safety. The coronation of King Charles tomorrow morning, a ceremony full of pomp and pageantry. King Charles and Camilla, the Queen Consort, will take part in a procession.
It will be followed by a ceremony at Westminster Abbey and is the first British coronation in 70 years. Here's ABC's Ines de la Cuetera on what to expect.
This morning, the UK gearing up for a celebration more than 70 years in the making. King Charles's coronation already drawing royal superfans. More than 1 million people expected to line the streets of London.
It's once in a lifetime opportunity.
Members of the royal family seen arriving for rehearsals at Westminster Abbey. Princes Louis and George and Princess Charlotte all in tow. Prince Harry will also be attending, though his visit will be short.
Very quick trip for Prince Harry, maybe even just 24 hours in the UK as he flies in, attends that coronation ceremony, skips everything else afterwards and gets on a plane straight back to LA.
On Saturday, the military, led by King Charles's sister Princess Anne, set to put on a show with a procession for their new commander-in-chief.
It's a show not only for the King's armed forces that he's the head of, but also showing the best of Britain and the Commonwealth on the world stage.
Then on Sunday, a star-studded concert. 4-time Grammy winner Lionel Richie, just one of the many artists set to perform.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so, to be a part of it is everything.
Meanwhile, officials also beefing up security in what could be the largest security operation in British history, hoping to keep potentially disruptive protesters in check. This after Buckingham Palace went into lockdown on Tuesday when a man allegedly threw what appeared to be shotgun cartridges onto palace grounds. The price tag is raising eyebrows, reportedly costing taxpayers an estimated $125 million.
They could be paying for it themselves.
And over 2,000 guests will attend the coronation inside Westminster Abbey tomorrow. First Lady Jill Biden will be among them, along with other foreign dignitaries, European royals, and public servants. Ines de la Cuetera, ABC News, London.
508, 72 degrees.
Google has announced their first foldable phone. More on the new Pixel Fold next.
TurboTax to pay millions to those who could have used their service for free while filing in 2016 and 17 and even 18. How much people are expected to get?
Let's look out there with live cam this morning. What can we say? Just prepare for that humidity. We're at 72 degrees and expecting things to warm up also. We'll be right back. Welcome back. It's 5:11. Your morning consumer headlines. TurboTax will pay $141 million to taxpayers who could have filed for free. The payments are part of a 2022 settlement over online ads that sent customers to TurboTax's paid service. The checks will start going out next week. New York Attorney General Letitia James says that TurboTax owner Intuit will make payments ranging from $29 to $85 to more than 4 million taxpayers. The settlement is for those who filed returns for tax years 2016, 2017, and 2018 and were eligible eligible to use TurboTax's IRS Free File program, but ended up in a TurboTax paid program.
Tricky. Okay, mortgage rates continue to fluctuate according to new numbers from Freddie Mac. The average for a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage down 0.4% this week after 2 weeks of increases. That puts it at 6.39%. Freddie Mac's chief economist says spring tends to be a busier time for the residential housing market.
Apple says its revenue fell down 3% for the first couple of months this year. That decline comes as consumers are saving and not purchasing smartphones or computers. Apple's revenue was a bit better than what Wall Street expected, but it still represents the second consecutive quarterly revenue decline for the tech giant.
I was reading about that yesterday. Sales are way down everywhere, but they said it's offset because apparently Apple is selling like hotcakes, including phones, in the country of India, which of course is one of the most populated countries on the entire planet.
Yeah, I think Apple's surviving somewhere.
513, 72 degrees.
And retired teachers could see an increase in pay and their state pensions, all thanks to 2 legislative bills. Next, what one retired educator is saying about how this could help make ends meet.
Here's to the very first influencer in your life. Mom.
Yeah, I do it right 'cause I'm a dime. I buy it for me. Got what it takes. I'm strong as we. I don't pay for it. I just go get it all for myself. I'll make the call. I'm right on it. I got it all.
This is how mom shines. Find the perfect Mother's Day gift at Zales, the diamond store.
With Allegra, allergies don't hold us back. Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. And unlike Zyrtec, it won't make us drowsy, so you can live your greatness. And Allegra Hives works from the inside to relieve itching and reduce hives for 24 hours.
I love shopping the Real Real. Gucci,
Louis Vuitton,
Prada,
Hermes,
Dior,
Rolex,
Burberry, Saint Laurent.
Luxury brands up to 90% off retail.
Thousands of new arrivals daily.
The Real Real. Shop now and get 20% off at therealreal.com. Terms apply.
In today's Tech Bites, Microsoft's Bing chatbot for everybody. Microsoft says users just need to sign into Bing or Edge with your Microsoft account and they will have access to the open preview version of the chatbot. The GPT-4 powered chatbot launched in a private preview in February. And Google will introduce its first foldable phone next week. It is called the Pixel Fold. Specific details are scarce, but reports say the phone measures 5.8 inches, folding out to 7.6 inches. The cost, it's expected to run more than $1,700. And Apple is launching 20 more games to its arcade library. That includes an exclusive co-op Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles game called Splintered Fate. Players and their allies can battle enemies while they hunt for Splinter, who's gone missing. Those are your Tech Bites. Have a great day.
Retired teachers may see a pay increase in their state pensions as 2 legislative bills are getting bipartisan support. Details on how much of a raise retirees would get are still being worked out by lawmakers, but activists say the support is there this session. If a cost of living adjustment or COLA is approved, it would be the first in 20 years. Many former teachers have to work in their retirement in order to make ends meet.
There are a lot of retirees who are already in their 70s, 75, and they have a hard time working because of their health and disabilities and mobility, driving.
Even if a bill is approved, Texans would be asked to vote on a plan to fund the raises in November. You can read more about how much retirees could receive on our website at KSAT.com.
518, Stephen, this is everyone. Everyone, Stephen.
Nice
Good
to
morning.
meet you guys. And you know what? Did we all get the blue memo?
Not
It's
me.
happened twice this week.
Not me.
Sorry, Steph.
Well, I
That's
guess my
okay.
bracelet.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
You get
Got it.
partial credit.
Yeah, you know what? That's great. You know, we're seeing a lot of green on the screen, which is always a good sign.
Yeah.
So you're bringing the good vibes over here, Steph. Yes, of course. But, you know, quiet roadways, you can take a look outside. I was just asking Justin, is that some of the fog that may be taking over some of the TransGuide cameras? It looks a little hazy in some of the shots, or foggy, I should say. Thankfully, it doesn't really seem to be causing any issues with drivers, but just be safe out there. We did have a lot of problems on the road yesterday, but things look a lot better as we get the Friday commute rolling. Listen, we're all ready to drive off into the weekend, but you still have to be on the lookout because we have a lot of scattered construction right behind me, something that I didn't get a chance to mention yesterday. So let's get a look here what's happening along Loop 1604, far east side of Bexar County. That cable installation that started last week, well, it's still ongoing. It's going to take us all the way up to Saturday, May 13th. That work starts around 8 in the morning, but I can guarantee you that crews crews will get out there a little bit earlier, so give them some room. Should wrap around 4 in the afternoon, alternating lane closures in both directions. That's if your route takes you through FM 78 to Hanover Cove. So expect some possible slowdowns there, but you can always head over to ksat.com/traffic for a full list of closures. But back here, 281 at Hildebrand doesn't look too bad, but we did have a few issues yesterday. Justin, we'll take some quiet roads as we get ready to drive off into the weekend.
Definitely good to see. And I want to show you a picture here, guys. I know we've got a studio full of Star Wars fans. Yesterday was May the 4th, and we're going to keep that going today just because this is a cool picture. That would be Yoda, correct?
Yes.
In the form of a cocktail. Well done. That looks kind of tasty. It is.
Oh my gosh.
The eyes are olives.
That looks so good.
That's creative, and it looks good at the same time. So well done. Thank you for sending that in. Yesterday, of course, May the 4th, Star Wars Day. And as we go outside for you right now, 73 and mostly cloudy, dew point. That's the important number here. It is so very high. With southerly winds at 5 miles per hour, it's going to be a very, very sticky day. And that's leading to some fog, as Stephen mentioned, in some spots. Not really here around San Antonio, at least not yet. But you get out to Seguin, the visibility does come down to about 4 tenths of a mile. I'm not expecting thick fog, but there could be some patchy fog here and there this morning. So just be aware. Pleasanton and Kennedy starting to see visibilities come down a little bit too. KSAT 12-hour forecast, 73 at 7 o'clock, 74 at 8 a.m. I think skies try to clear a little bit earlier today than they have in previous days. So with more sun, that means hotter temperatures. And you pair that with the high humidity and you get some pretty extreme heat indices. I think it'll feel like it's in the upper 90s later today in many spots. Notice we also have a 20% chance of a storm popping up this afternoon. Most of us stay dry, but there is a risk there. This is the feels like number at 5 o'clock today. 98 is what it could potentially feel like here in San Antonio. And heat indices could jump up above 100 in a few spots. So this is really summer-like heat. You got to be careful out there if you do plan to be outside. Here's the setup. We've got a lot of humid air across much of Texas. There's a dry line across West Texas. This does swing east today. Now, as we often say, dry lines typically don't generate a lot of storms, but there's always a chance there could be an isolated storm or two popping up along the dry line. And so we do need to watch that today. Storm Protection Center does have parts of our area within a scattered risk of severe weather. Of course, we had that yesterday. We didn't see anything here in San Antonio. It all stayed south of us. But that's just kind of the situation we're in. It's going to be isolated, but if it pops up, then there is a pretty good risk of it becoming severe. So the forecast does call for skies again clearing pretty quickly today. And then as we get that good daytime heating, that may help to generate a storm or two. I'd say out west, this one shows a storm developing near Creosote Springs. And then maybe a few more isolated storms here and there. Hill country would be another kind of favorite area, perhaps. Even so, the rain chance is at 20%. We're not going to bet on it, but it's a possibility. And that pattern stays with us all the way into next week. I wish I could give you more or less rain chances here, but this is just how it plays out. We're kind of stuck in this pattern. Temperatures near 90 each and every day, and a chance for storms, or at least isolated activity, each and every day. Guys.
523, 72 degrees on your Friday.
Let's look at your winning lotto numbers. Pick 3, 749, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 0359, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 7, 8, 11, 24, 26. Texas two-step 14, 28, 32, 33. Bonus ball 15.
We either move forward or we die with it.
The Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power is among the shows trying to move forward amid the Writers Guild strike. An Amazon Studios spokesperson confirms production on Season 2 is continuing without its showrunners. WGA strike rules prevent writer-producers from making creative decisions on set. Hollywood productions could soon become even more affected. Contracts for SAG-AFTRA and the Directors Guild expire June 30th. Without new deals, actors and directors could also strike. Captain Marvel herself, Brie Larson, has joined the Cannes Film Festival jury. The Oscar winner and Paul Dano from The Batman and the Fabelmans will be among those screening the 21 films in competition at Cannes this year and selecting the winners. This year's festival runs May 16th through the 27th.
I'm getting married.
You are? Who's the lucky lady?
Don't know yet.
What do you mean?
I'm getting an arranged marriage. Well, assisted marriage. That's what we're calling it these days.
Dare I ask, what about love?
You grow to love the person you're with.
What, like Stockholm Syndrome?
Lily James plays a filmmaker whose longtime friend is preparing to marry a stranger in What's Love Got to Do with It? The romantic comedy opens in theaters this weekend. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
Murder in the medical center. This morning, we'll hear from the family of a man who was killed last weekend and what role police say his wife played in his murder.
Let's look out there with live cams starting humid. I could tell as soon as I opened the door this morning, so we'll have to deal with that and maybe some heat later on. But Justin is here and we're going to check in with him to see what we can expect.
And a good morning to you. It is Friday. It is May 5th. Yeah, I poked my head out on the back porch this morning, and I think my reaction, if it had been recorded, was ugh.
Yeah, it was pretty gross.
My hair just...
description.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, my friend Mike, I think he would say you could slice it with a knife. That's what he usually says, right?
Cut it with a knife.
Cut it with a knife.
Yeah, it's that kind of it's that kind of air mess. It is sticky out there. It's leading to some fog, and it's going to lead to some pretty significant heat indices later today. So let's look at the weather headlines. I do want to mention that last night we didn't see any rain here in San Antonio, but those in Crystal City down to the south and west of San Antonio, it's down in Zavala County, they had some large hail, some damage down there. We're going to show you a photo coming up. The heat index could approach 100 degrees today here in San Antonio. That's the feels like number. So that's the heat, humidity coming together, and the heat index is going to be high through the weekend. What about storms? Well, there is opportunity for that, but it's just going to be stray stuff pop up. So most of us aren't going to see anything at all. But if we do get a storm, it could be strong to severe. So we do need to watch it. 73 right now. Dew point is at 71. Southerly winds at about 5 miles per hour. There's the risk for severe weather today. The Storm Protection Center has basically outlined the hill country for the highest risk for severe weather. But again, it's going to be isolated. It's one of those situations where if we can get a storm to pop up, then it could be strong. Hail would be the main threat. Really, there are rain chances, though, here, 20%. And by the way, I think skies clear pretty quick today. You'll see sun by lunchtime, and that pushes those temperatures up to 91 today. But that feels like number somewhere around 95 to 98. 20% chance of rain, as I said, this afternoon. We'll talk more about the weekend forecast and what's ahead next week as well, coming up. But we've got to get over to Steven now, and I think we've got some flashing lights.
Oh, gosh. I already report this, guys, but unfortunately, we do have our first major crash of the morning. Let's get a look there. This is actually 35 northbound right behind me as you approach Martin Street. Notice right behind me, we do also have traffic that's moving pretty slow through the area. That's because we have seen at least 2 lanes that are blocked off. I also noticed that it does look like we have a part of a tractor trailer right there that has the hazard lights on with multiple flashing lights behind it. Not sure yet exactly if that was involved in the crash or how many vehicles were involved or the extent or any injuries reported. We're going to watch this area very closely and hope everyone's doing okay, but we're going to get you through it as well. 35 northbound near Martin is where we have it pinpointed on their map, and already a little bit of yellow out there. That could be folks that are making their way into the downtown area. So we want to take a look at the drive time if you're coming in from Lytle, because this could impact your commute a little bit. Thankfully, it wouldn't be too bad because we're still in the green there along 35 northbound, 16 minutes. But remember, as you travel in this early in the morning, you may see some of those backups out there due to that crash. Highway 90, while we're at it, US 90 should be about a 30-minute drive time from Castroville. And right now along I-37 northbound from Pleasanton, it should be about a 28-minute commute. But the big issue is going to be right here at 35 in Martin. I'm going to get ready to send a push alert out, so make sure you have those KSAT mobile apps downloaded, notifications turned on. Remember, 35 northbound at Martin is where this crash has been reported. I'm going to step out of the studio to get on the phone with our friends at TransGuide to find out what they're seeing out there. Guys.
Thank you, Stephen. Firefighters are working on putting out a fire on the city's south side. Our Alyssa Cole is there now. Let's go ahead and check in with her. Good morning, Alyssa.
Yes, good morning, Stephanie. We're just still out here at this location here on 400 Ashley Road. This is on the south side. We did a little research. We're looking at the scene right now. We'll have the camera pan over. It looks like that firefighters are at a school right now. It looks like it could possibly be Kingsborough Middle School. We've seen them going in and out of the property. You see there zooming in. It doesn't look like it appears to be anything too serious. We haven't gotten a chance to talk to officials officials yet. We did see several firefighter trucks here, of course, but several of them have left as well. And you can already see the police there picking up the flares, and some of the first responders have left. But the good news is anybody in this area concerned of any immediate danger, there's no threat right now. It looks like first responders are actually wrapping up. But again, I'm here outside of the middle school on Ashley Road on the city's south side. But I'll go ahead and send it back to you, Stephanie.
Okay, thank you, Alyssa. Bond is set at $75,000 for a 17-year-old accused of robbing a convenience store for beer. Alexander Hernandez is accused of robbing a Shell gas station on Highway 90 near Ray Ellison back on April 23rd. That's on the far west side. An arrest affidavit says Hernandez and another suspect grabbed several cases of beer before trying to leave the store. When the clerk behind the counter locked the door with a hidden switch, Hernandez allegedly threatened him with a gun. No word yet if the second suspect has been caught.
The family of a murdered man is now speaking out. 31-year-old Nick Hallman was shot over the weekend. The suspected shooter and the victim's wife are now in jail. San Antonio police say Hallman was shot and killed at an apartment on the Medical Drive Sunday. Authorities arrested the suspected shooter, 50-year-old Jose Alvarez. At the time, they believe Hallman's wife, 30-year-old Marianne Dimitro, was a hostage, but arrested her Monday at the San Antonio airport. According to an arrest affidavit, she was trying to flee the city and tried cleaning evidence as well as moving the body. The affidavit adds that Alvarez and Dimitro were in a relationship.
Just trying to live without him. Remember him as he was. I just want to hug him and hold him. He's still a baby to us.
Betty Bettis, Hallman's stepmother, tells us that they are now trying to cherish the memories that they had with their stepson, take care of the young children he had with Dimitro, and raise money to send Hallman's body to California, where they are from.
The Southwest Independent School District has announced in a letter released to parents that starting Monday, backpacks and large purses will not be allowed on campuses. This no backpack policy goes through the end of the school year. They say the new policy is, quote, to reduce the risk of dangerous items being brought on campus, end quote. Small clear bags and 1 gallon clear freezer bags are allowed. For more information on the new policy, you can visit Southwest ISD's website.
A San Antonio mom is searching for answers from SAISD after her 8-year-old son was given the wrong medication at school. Candace Smith's son is a second grader at Cameron Elementary, and he is diagnosed with ADHD and bipolar disorder. She says that she received a call on March 31st from a school nurse saying her son had been given the wrong medication. She then went to the school with the month of April's medications and claims her son's pill bottles from the months of February and March were nearly full. Smith believes her son was given the wrong medication for weeks and says she still has not received any communication from the district about what drug he may have taken.
We had this meeting and they could not tell me what they gave my son based off of the logs. They still have no idea to this day. My son could have been dead. He could have died because of this, in the hands of a registered nurse.
SAISD released a statement confirming there was one instance where a child received the wrong medication. The district also confirmed that a registered nurse and an assistant are no longer at the campus.
Election day is tomorrow, May 6th. If you don't vote early, this is your chance to cast a ballot. So here's a look at what's up for grabs at the polls this year. Some of the biggest matchups include the mayor's race, with Mayor Ron Nirenberg seeking his latest 2-year term. He's up against 8 challengers in this election. All 10 San Antonio City Council seats are up for grabs. District 1 Councilman Mario Bravo is facing 8 opponents, and there are 10 for District 2. Councilman Jalen McKee Rodriguez is hoping to retain his seat for a second term. District 7 will have a new face. Councilwoman Ana Sandoval resigned back in January. Interim Rep Rosie Castro is not running for re-election. And District 10 Councilman Clayton Perry, as you may know, is not seeking re-election. There are 7 people vying for his slot. Another big item on the ballot is Proposition A.
And if you scan this QR code on your screen, it will take you to our Vote 2023 tab on our website at KSAT.com. There we have everything you need to know before you head to the polls this Saturday.
This morning, a man is now in custody after the brutal killing of an Arizona woman.
Authorities say the 29-year-old was attacked during her morning walk on a popular trail. Here's ABC's Andrea Fujii with the latest in the arrest.
Overnight, police announcing an arrest in the death of Lauren Heike, the 29-year-old found murdered on a hiking trail in Phoenix. Investigators say the suspect is in his early 20s and is the person seen in the surveillance video running from the scene. Police serving a search warrant at this apartment complex.
With this information, we hope that the community tonight can rest a little easier knowing that this person's off the streets.
On Wednesday, Lauren's family pleaded for any information.
She was my little girl. I'm going to miss her terribly.
Lauren was walking at a popular trail close to her home last Friday morning.
She loved to exercise. She was walking, and we know she was happy. She went out that morning on a beautiful day to do what she does every day.
When her family didn't hear from her, they checked her phone, and it pinged close to where she lived, leading investigators to her location. The next day, her body was found. Investigators say she was viciously attacked from behind. Police then warning neighbors not to hike or walk alone.
The behavior, in my opinion, was so heinous that I would imagine that the subject would be displaying behavior symptoms that just would look out of place.
As for Lauren's cause of death, police would only say that she suffered trauma to her body.
After Lauren's family spoke publicly last week, police were flooded with tips, but they won't say whether those tips helped lead them to this suspect. And no word yet on a motive. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
540, 73 degrees.
Title 42 is ending soon. Next, what local nonprofits who provide aid to migrants are expecting in the coming days.
Outside with live cam, 73 degrees, very humid. And Justin, again, is kind of warning us about what the heat index will be like as we head into this afternoon. More on that coming up. Local nonprofits who provide aid to migrants say they're expecting the end of Title 42 to have a huge impact.
An increase of migrants seeking asylum is already seen in El Paso, as officials say approximately 250 migrants have turned themselves in to immigration authorities. The pandemic-era rule comes to an end on May 11th. Title 42 allows immigration authorities to turn migrants away in an effort of mitigating the spread of COVID-19. Now, nonprofit organizations like Catholic Charities in the Rio Grande Valley typically receive up to 150 migrants daily.
They say now that number is close to 450 a day. Leaders in McAllen expect the flow of migrants to reach up to 10,000 a day following the end of Title 42.
Time now, 5:44 and 73 degrees for now.
Next, the Environmental Protection Agency has released a new report on climate change and children's health, what it's outlining, and the plans the EPA has for the future. Many of us are facing impacts with climate change it's had on the physical world all around us. But when it comes to our children, what about their health? Here's ABC's Ginger Z with what a new report from the Environmental Protection Agency is outlining for children's health in a warming world.
Whether it's extreme heat, flooding, or air pollution, a range of climate change-related issues can have lifelong impacts on children, their learning, physical, and mental health. It's all laid out in a new report from the EPA.
Children are much more vulnerable to the impacts of climate change because their bodies are still developing and developing quite rapidly.
The report says that climate change is expected to increase the rates of asthma in children. Plus, Lyme disease is expected to rise up to 23,400 new cases each year. And even hot classrooms leading to a 4 to 7% reduction in annual academic achievement per child.
The report basically makes the point that every degree matters.
If no additional action is taken to adapt to climate change, the EPA estimates that 1 to more than 2 million children could deal with temporary displacement or lose their homes entirely thanks to coastal flooding from sea level rise. But there is some good news. The EPA is taking steps to reduce fossil fuel emissions and air pollution by passing stricter tailpipe rules for vehicles. One step of many in curbing global warming. For this Climate Minute, I'm Ginger Z.
548.
Still problems on I-35. Let's check back with Stephen Cavazos.
Get a close look there, guys, at your TransGuide camera. I'm going to step out as the camera rolls in. You could actually see that we have an overturned vehicle on that particular shot from TransGuide. I was actually speaking to our friends over there a little bit earlier on the phone. We do know that this says at least one vehicle involved in the crash. 2 lanes are blocked at this time, so this is going to cause some issues for drivers heading north along I-35 near Martin into the downtown area. again, you can see that overturned vehicle on your screen. The little blob of black right there, as you notice that first responders are working to get that vehicle upright. You want to be very careful if you're traveling into the downtown area this morning because they are walking through the scene and we want to make sure we give them plenty of room. No word yet on any injuries, but notice we are getting a little bit more of that buildup that's taking place along the northbound lanes as folks are making their way into San Antonio. But as we give you a wide look here at the metropolitan area, there's really not a lot else out there. Thankfully, our Friday morning commute should be fine for most folks. But again, if you are traveling here, 35 northbound at Martin, you have to be very careful because we do have that overturned vehicle, and first responders, much like what we saw yesterday, are walking through the scene. They have a few lanes blocked off too at this time, but this is going to cause issues for drivers heading north again on 35.
Where was our big problem yesterday? 35
at top of line. So this is in the
different part of town.
Yeah, well, different part of town, but 35's been a mess for what, 3 days in a row?
Oh gosh, this is we've been seeing problems along 35.
What a week.
Yes, it
Let's
has.
wrap this week up then. How about that?
With heat.
Friday. We're going to wrap it up on a very hot note. There is no doubt about that. And last night we did get some storms, not here in San Antonio, but parts of the area did. And I want to show you a picture coming out of Crystal City. This was one of the hardest hit places. That, of course, is southwest of San Antonio. And there's one example of the hailstone there. But they got as big as baseballs, potentially. We have gotten some reports of damage to windshields there on some of the cars. There was a big-time storm last night that moved through parts of Zavala County. Again, here in San Antonio, we didn't see any rain. In fact, it all tracked south. You see some of the rainfall totals here. And Crystal City is an estimate because we don't have an exact reading there. But Quemado, close to 2 inches. And lower totals from Carrizo Springs up to Uvalde. So that's where the rain was last night. And it was in a place where the rain was needed. This is a drought-stricken area, just like we are dealing with here in San Antonio. So good to see that. And hopefully we'll get a little bit more rain, at least over the next week. There's some small chances. Not everyone's going to get the rain, but at least there are some opportunities there. 73 right now, and so very humid. Dew point is at 71. Southerly winds at about 5 miles per hour. That humidity is leading to some fog, notably around Seguin, where we're seeing visibility down about 0.4 of a mile. Pleasanton also starting to see a little bit of fog there with Kennedy at 2.5 miles. I don't expect anything super thick this morning, but there will be some places where you may run into patchy fog. The biggest story of the day potentially is going to be the heat. We're expecting temperatures up near 91 here in San Antonio, but that'll feel like 98 when you factor in that humidity. In a lot of places, we'll see heat indices near 100 today. So we got to be careful. It's been a while since we've dealt with this kind of heat. You want to take the normal precautions, maybe not spend as much time outside today. And that goes for the weekend, too, with temperatures looking very, very similar, even into next week. And we're not losing this humidity. Humid air is spread across much of Texas, at least east of the dry line, which, by the way, makes another push towards the east this afternoon. It's along that dry line where we could see an isolated storm or two. Dry lines typically don't do a great job of generating storms, but they can. And if we do get a storm going, the atmosphere is ripe for severe weather. So it's going to be one of those instances where if we can get an isolated storm to develop, it likely becomes severe. And that would be happening sometime this evening. It's impossible to know exactly where, but the Storm Prediction Center does have parts of our area within the scattered risk, mainly the hill country, a little bit closer to that dry line. We'll see how it plays out, but we only have a 20% chance of rain in the forecast here in San Antonio. And here's what one of our computer models is thinking. And really, it's going to be random as to where these storms pop up somewhere in this general vicinity. And I know that doesn't break it down, but that's just where we are. This model shows storm potentially developing there in the hill country, maybe another one a little bit closer to, say, Carrizo Springs and Eagle Pass. Again, just a 20% shot here in town, and that's going to be the case going forward. I wish we could give you a little more clarity as far as rain chances go, but we can't. It's just how the pattern is setting up. It's going to be those random pop-up afternoon storms. In any day in the 7-day forecast, we could see some severe weather, so it's worth watching, but just know that most of us will stay dry. Temperatures around 90 each and every day with lots of humidity too. So this feels more like a June forecast than it does a May forecast. We were doing really good with the fronts, and then all of a sudden they just shut off. So here we are.
Yeah, we were lucky for a little bit in April.
It was nice and to get some cool mornings, but that is not the case this week.
All right. Thank you, Justin.
Yeah.
5:53, 73 degrees.
To get your winning lotto numbers, pick 3, 749, Fireball 6, Daily 4, 0359, Fireball 3.
Cash 5, 7, 8, 11, 24, 26. Texas two-step 14, 28, 32, 33. Bonus ball 15.
Good morning. Coming up here on GMA, the growing fears of a banking crisis. Another bank teetering on the brink of failure, and what the new jobs report numbers out this morning reveal about the economy. We're going to have the latest on that. And we're live from London, counting down to the coronation, which is now less than 24 hours away. Michael, Lara, our whole team live in the heart of London. They're going to take you inside the last-minute details as the excitement builds across the globe. You don't want to miss it right here on GMA.
We're celebrating Cinco de Mayo with a look back at the Battle of Puebla and its impact on Mexico. Up next, Election Day tomorrow. With a lot at stake at the ballots, the races to watch and what to expect if you are heading to the polls tomorrow. Voter turnout was low in the run-up to this year's election. And TransGuide right now, still flashing lights 35 at Martin. Stephen is tracking this incident for you. And let's talk about that chance of storms for your Friday and the rest of the weekend. Could we see a severe storm or two all weekend long? We'll talk to Justin coming up on your Friday. You're watching GMSA. We'll be back 1 hour of news, weather, and traffic next.
The UK gearing up for King Charles's coronation, a ceremony more than 70 years in the making. I'm Inez de la Quatera in London, and I'll have all the latest coming up.
Back here at home, a fire forced an evacuation last night at a hotel on San Antonio's north side. We'll tell you what we've been able to learn from the scene.
Let's look out there with a live cam this morning. We're starting with a humid 73 degrees. We are in the month of May, but it's starting to feel like June. We're going to check in with Justin very soon.
Live from KSAT 12. Good morning, San Antonio starts right now.
And a good morning to you. It is Friday, May 5th.
Thanks for joining us. We hope you had a wonderful week. And this morning, I recommend cold coffee, not hot coffee.
You mean like iced coffee?
Yes,
Ma'am.
definitely.
I understand the order. 6 o'clock. All right, so let's check in now with Justin. One, very humid this morning.
Yeah.
Two, a lot of people waking up going, hey, did we have a storm or two, or did they kind of work around us?
And it's a great question. You know, it was all about where those storms formed yesterday. We knew there was a chance they could avoid San Antonio, and they did. But we had some bigger storms to the south and west of town last night, some big hail, and there was a swath of rain here, a narrow one, but a swath of rain stretching from Del Rio down to Crystal City. No, San Antonio did not see storms last night, and in fact, it is quiet this morning, albeit very humid. Ton of humidity in the atmosphere. 75 right now, mostly cloudy. Dew point is actually inching up, 72. It's about as high as it gets this time of year. That's going to be a problem this afternoon because we've got heat and humidity. I think skies clear pretty quick today, so that'll get temperatures into the low 90s. And when you add in the humidity, that feels like number is going to be up close to 100 today, the heat index. We do have some rain chances, but they're small, 20%. If we can get a storm to pop up today, there could be some strong to severe weather. All things we're watching, and this kind of pattern continues right on into the weekend. We're going to look at the 7-day forecast for you here in just a few minutes, but we got to get over to Stephen. Still some issues here on I-35.
Yeah, big issues over here, Justin. We saw that overturned vehicle, as you can see right behind me. Not a lot has really changed there. Unfortunately, the only change we've spotted is that there are a lot more folks out there that are having to navigate through this mess. And you can see 2 lanes blocked off. And out in the distance right there where those flashing lights are, that's where that overturned vehicle is. So we hope everyone is doing okay. No word yet exactly if there were people inside or if anyone actually sustained any injuries. But this is definitely causing issues for drivers, and we hope everyone is going to get through this okay. But let's get to our map, and it's pretty much stayed consistent right here. A lot of that buildup that we're seeing in the northbound lanes of I-35 as you approach Martin Street. But it's already 6 a.m., so we're going to start to see a lot more changes out on the roadway. A little bit more of that red is going to take over our map. We have to make sure that we give each other plenty of room, but anytime you see situations like this behind me, make sure to move over or slow down. But if your travels are going to take you into the downtown area along I-35, it's probably best just to avoid it right now or look for a different route. But either which way, we have first responders on the scene, so we have to give them plenty of room to get this job done. We'll be keeping a close eye on it and have more updates throughout the morning, guys.
To some late breaking news we've been covering this morning. A Southside school is safe after San Antonio firefighters cleared out thick smoke from a classroom.
Our Alyssa Cole is there now and joins us live from Ashley Road and Morrison Boulevard. Alyssa, what can you tell us?
Yes, good morning, Mark, Stephanie. Well, right now you can see that the scene is clear. Firefighters and police have left. We did get a chance to go into the school and talk to them. They said pretty much an HVAC machine malfunction filled the classroom up with smoke and triggered the alarm. And of course, they came out, they took care of the situation. They cleared the smoke out. Police and firefighters, they said they were out here for actually just under an hour. They were able to take care of everything. Of course, we asked them, will there still be school today? What do people need to know? Take a look at that office right there. You all see the lights are on. All right, Kingsborough middle school kids, that means you still have to come to school. It's still going to be open right here at Kingsborough Middle School. And firefighters, they had a message for you all too. I said any message for the community, for teachers, for students, anything you would like them to know. You know, they'll see this as they wake up right now getting ready for school. And they said, make sure you come to school on time. That was their message, you all. So good morning. I'll send it back to you all.
Thank you, Alyssa. New this morning, San Antonio firefighters had to clear out a La Quinta hotel after fire alarms went off. This happened last night around 10:30 on Hahn Boulevard near Jones-Maltzberger Road on the city's north side. Crews found smoke on the 8th floor and discovered an air conditioner had a burnt-up belt. That spread the smoke throughout that floor. Everyone managed to get out safely, and there were no injuries reported.
Bond set at $75,000 for a 17-year-old San Antonio man accused of robbing a convenience store for beer. This guy, Alexander Hernandez, is accused of robbing a Shell gas station on Highway 90 near Ray Ellison back at the end of April. That's over on the far west side. An arrest affidavit says Hernandez and another suspect grabbed cases of beer before trying to leave the store. When a clerk behind the counter locked the front door with a hidden switch, Hernandez allegedly threatened him with a gun. No word yet if the second suspect has been caught.
San Antonio police say a GPS tracker is what helped them find a stolen school bus that vanished yesterday. The bus was taken from the East Central ISD transportation hub. SAPD tracked that bus to a shopping center on Ingram Road. Officers looked through the bus for weapons or for people inside, but they didn't find anything.
A convicted murderer is back behind bars after he was released just over a year ago, but this time it's for something different. 50-year-old Jacob Valadez is facing an invasive visual recording charge. Police say Valadez left his phone in a friend's car. When the friend picked it up, she noticed photos and videos of an underage girl changing clothes. She told police officers, got a search warrant, and they confirmed the victim did not know she was being recorded. Bexar County court records show Valadez served a 30-year prison sentence for murder back in 1992 and was released just last March.
In your morning headlines, police have arrested a 21-year-old suspect in Serbia's second mass shooting in 2 days. Officials say he killed at least 8 people and wounded 13 others in several villages southeast of Belgrade Thursday night. Police then launched a massive manhunt involving hundreds of officers and special forces. Serbia's Ministry of Interior is calling the shooting an act of domestic terrorism.
Back here in the U.S., a man in custody after the brutal killing of an Arizona woman attacked during her morning walk on a popular hiking trail. The body of 29-year-old Lauren Heike was found last weekend in Phoenix. Investigators say the suspect was seen on surveillance video running away from the scene. After her family spoke publicly this week, police were flooded with tips, but they wouldn't say if those tips led them to the suspect. There's no word yet on a motive.
On Capitol Hill, the looming debt ceiling deadline is casting a shadow over a relief plan in Congress. Most Republicans support House Speaker Kevin McCarthy's Limit, Save, and Grow Act, which raises the debt ceiling with spending cuts. However, President Biden and White House officials have repeatedly said budget cuts were a non-starter, but now they are open to a temporary fix. Discussions are expected to continue on Tuesday.
Looking ahead, the coronation of King Charles is tomorrow morning, an event that's got all eyes on London this weekend.
It is the first British coronation in 70 years and will be followed by a ceremony at Westminster Abbey.
We're going. We have to wait a little while to go. Our flight's tonight.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
You didn't know?
Bags packed.
Here's ABC's Inez de la Cuetera with what to expect.
This morning, the King and Queen Consort arriving at Westminster Abbey, where final preparations for the coronation are underway. King Charles's coronation already drawing royal superfans. More than 1 million people expected to line the streets of London.
It's once in a lifetime opportunity.
Members of the royal family seen arriving for rehearsals at Westminster Abbey. Princes Louis and George and Princess Charlotte all in tow. Prince Harry will also be attending, though his visit will be short.
Very quick trip for Prince Harry, maybe even just 24 hours in the UK as he flies in, attends that coronation ceremony, skips everything else afterwards and gets on a plane straight back to LA.
On Saturday, the military, led by King Charles's sister Princess Anne, set to put on a show with a procession for their new commander-in-chief.
It's a show not only for the King's armed forces that he's the head of, but also showing the best of Britain and the Commonwealth on the world stage.
Then on Sunday, a star-studded concert. Four-time Grammy winner Lionel Richie, just one of the many artists set to perform.
This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, so to be a part of it is everything.
Meanwhile, officials also beefing up security in what could be the largest security operation in British history, hoping to keep potentially disruptive protesters in check. This after Buckingham Palace went into lockdown on Tuesday when a man allegedly threw what appeared to be shotgun cartridges onto palace grounds. The price tag is raising eyebrows, reportedly costing taxpayers an estimated $125 million.
They could be paying for it themselves.
And over 2,000 guests will attend the coronation inside Westminster Abbey tomorrow. First Lady Jill Biden will be among them, along with other foreign dignitaries, European royals, and public servants. Inez de la Cuetara, ABC News, London.
Back here at home, retired teachers may see a pay increase in their state pensions. Two legislative bills are getting bipartisan support. Details on how much of a raise retirees would get are still being worked out by lawmakers. However, activists say the support is there this session. If a cost of living adjustment is approved, it would be the first in 20 years. Many former teachers have to work during retirement in order to make ends meet.
There are a lot of retirees who are already in their 70, 75, and they have a hard time working because of their health and disabilities and mobility, driving.
Even if a bill is approved, Texans would still be asked to vote on a plan to fund the raises in November. You can read more about how much retirees may be getting on our website at KSAT.com.
10 minutes past the hour, 73 degrees.
Still ahead, the San Antonio City Council has passed a resolution to support renters dealing with bad landlords. Why it doesn't include any new protections.
After the break, Election Day is tomorrow. The races to watch and what to expect if you are heading out to the polls for the election.
And happy Friday. Let's look out there with live cam, 73 degrees where you're starting humid, but it is Friday. That's good news. We're going to check in with Justin to see what we can expect later today and this weekend. We'll be right back.